we go. My D light, would you like it on? The boss will shout at me. There you go. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to DuePoint. Welcome to everyone tuned in on our live stream, or maybe sitting at home in the comfort of maybe their bed, who knows. But welcome to everyone around the country. My name is Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here. I'm going to be spending the next 55 or so minutes with you, going through what this business is all about, what the opportunity is all about. After the presentation, you're welcome to come speak to me, ask me any questions that you might have. Is that all right? Good. Okay, let's begin. So, what's that noise? So, as you can see, DuePoint is a division of a business called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company. We were founded in 1952, so we've been around for a very long time. That's our building in the background. So we don't share offices with Constantia. They're just down the road here in Randburg. That's the branding that they use. The FSP number that we operate under, that's very important. That's the one that you see over there. You'll notice in our foyer above the water cooler, we've got all these certificates up on the wall. Go take a look at those. Those are our Financial Services Board licenses. So we're obviously regulated by the Financial Services Board. We've got a license to operate in the short and long-term insurance space. We've got an investment license. We've got our FSP license, and then we've also put up our accreditation with the Direct Marketing and the Direct Selling Association. So go take a look at those. That's our stamp of credibility. If you arrived at this presentation worried about this business presentation you are coming to look at, I hope you don't fear anymore, because we are regulated by probably the most onerous industry in the country. We are also listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange under a group called Conduit Capital. The managers and executives in our business, or at least in the DuePoint division, are these people up on screen. So the first three individuals are registered chartered accountants, starting with Mr. Brendan Benfield. He's our senior executive. He heads up the division. He's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance, because his father has been involved in insurance his entire life. Dr. Brian Benfield is a professor of insurance. He taught at Wits for 25 years. He founded Clientele Life. So he started Clientele Life, I think it was in '89. He founded the IFA. Brendan and his brother Stuart followed in their father's footsteps, and together they went to found a business down the road called Prime Meridian Direct, or PMD. And PMD is the fourth biggest short-term insurer in the country. They're not even 10 years old yet. So we've got some wonderful insurance pedigree in the Benfields. Very lucky to have him heading up our division. Then we've got Tim and Stacey. They look after the accounting, the financial, the regulatory, as well as the auditing requirements in our business. Those are fairly important aspects. Tim's very experienced in corporate banking. He's from the First Rand Group, so he was at the First Rand Group for about 15 years in a fairly senior position there. Stacey, she was working in auditing all her career for her sins, I think. So she worked for Deloitte here as well as overseas in Luxembourg before she came and joined the team here again in DuePoint. And then the two non-accountants, so Jane and myself. Can you see the accountants are talking to themselves and they're ignoring us? Can you see? We're just trying to be in the photo. The accountants, they talk another language if you go speak to them. But Jane and myself, the non-accountants, Jane's actually very experienced in network or referral marketing. She's been doing it for a very long time. She's from the UK. So she brings some wonderful international experience to our business. Because even though we're an insurance company, our growth is determined by our ability to work in the network marketing space. And Jane brings all of that experience to our team. And then myself, I've been working in advertising pretty much all my career. So plus 20 years. I ran my own agency for about 15 of those years. We operated quite heavily in the financial space. So it's not too uncomfortable for me operating with all these accountants. But our staff, and we've got our client service staff, we've got some admin staff, but the staff of DuePoint, our mandate, so the focus that we have here at DuePoint and the task that we have is to support everybody that joins us. It is in our interest to see you as effective and as profitable in this endeavor, because that's the only way as a business we can be profitable. And so everything that we do, and a lot of the money that we've invested in terms of technology, is geared to support you, to see you as profitable in this business as possible. Okay, so that's a little bit of background on the business and on some of the staff here. Very quickly, we're going to touch on the circumstance that we find ourselves in. And I don't want to labor on this too much, because you're all here because you want something extra, so I don't have to convince you that you need something extra. We know that we all want something extra already, but it's quite important to pay cognizance to the circumstance that we find ourselves in, because when you go out and you try to connect other people to this business, that'll help you. understand why there's so much demand for a business like this. So when we look at the economy has been absolutely dismal in the last 8 years. It has been shocking. Our GDP has halved in the last 8 years. So imagine that. Imagine South Africa as a company, and now you're doing half the business that you were doing 8 years ago. That's what South Africa is doing at the moment. We wonder why we've got 10 million unemployed people, because the people aren't doing business anymore. Mines are shutting down at a massive rate, and we see it personally. So you might be thinking, well, I'm not one of the people that are unemployed. I've still got a job, right? But it has affected everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're earning 50,000 Rand a month or 5,000 Rand a month. You are still affected by the economy. And we see it because of high inflation, right? We see it in terms of high interest rates. Food inflation is astronomical. But our salaries aren't keeping up with the cost of living, right? So you can say, well, I've still got a job. But look at what your salary was 8 years ago. And if you haven't gotten a 6-7% increase every single year in the last 8 years, your salary is actually less than what it was 8 years ago. And this is what the economy as a whole is experiencing. Unfortunately, we make the mistake of trying to use debt to bandage over this gap between what our salaries are and what the cost of living is, and we are often criticized that we engage too much in all these debt instruments that are made available to us instead of investing money into savings and investment products. And that creates this debt cycle that we get into, right? Because we are falling away from what the cost of living is, so we're never in a position to get on top of our debt. You're just not going to be. Unless the economy changes or you win the lotto or you get this amazing promotion and your salary doubles, you're not going to get on top of debt. And we see it in all the statistics, right? It affects every single industry. I saw an article just the other day saying that people renting out houses and flats and apartments, they're collecting less rent that they ever have in the last 8 years because people just aren't paying their rent. And it comes to a head when we get to retirement, because while we're employed, for the 40, 45 years we're working, we should be saving money towards our retirement. Because when you get to retirement, your income ends. It ends. There's no more income. And we're forced with a whole bunch of choices that we have to make. You've got to go either look for another job or you become dependent on your children and family to support you. God forbid you have to depend on a government grant to get by every month. And this is the reality for a lot of South Africans. And this is why we're here this morning, because we want to do something, not only make something extra, but to put ourselves in a circumstance where we don't have to face all of this rubbish, this external circumstance that keeps on affecting us. And that's really what the presentation is about. It's about creating opportunity for the average South African. And so, 2 years ago, Constantia launched this DuePoint division with the DuePoint system in mind, and what we have in mind beyond just making extra money. So you're probably thinking, well, I'm here because I want some extra money in my back pocket, but I'm going to tell you what I want to do too. So in addition to that, I also want to change the way you think about money, because we're here to make wealth, right? And to make wealth, you can't just make extra money. You have to think differently about money. Otherwise, you're going to fall into the same trap all the time. And so we have a couple of aspirations for the people in this business. Our first aspiration for everyone in this room is to get rid of their debt as quickly as possible. Not to start wearing nicer clothes and buy a nicer car and all of that. Get rid of that debt as quickly as possible. The second aspiration, because what it does is it empowers you to the second aspiration. The second aspiration is to create wealth. Right? Can you become wealthy if you owe other people money? No. So we get rid of the debt, then we start creating wealth. We create wealth through the ownership of assets and investments that appreciate, right? That's when your asset register looks bigger than what you owe. That's always what we want to do. And the third aspiration is just for everyone to be happier. And that'll happen, right? If you're debt-free and you're only investing money, I think you'll be quite light on your feet. You'll have a smile on your face every single day, right? We want to be one of those people. There's only about 3% of the population that get to retirement called financially independent. 3%, right? So we've got a room of about 100 people here. There's only 3 people that are going to get to retirement financially independent. The rest of us, we're going to be looking for extra jobs, becoming a burden on children and family. We don't want that. So those are the 3 aspirations we have in mind for people in this business. Our guests here this morning, you have the opportunity to join DuePoint. When you join DuePoint, you actually enter into contract with us, and once you're in contract with us, we call you wealth engineers, right? Because that's what we're doing. We're engineering our wealth. And as wealth engineers, you've got a single task, and that is to build what we call a channel of distribution So I'll show you what a channel of distribution is, because we will be talking about and concentrating on building channels of distribution forever, till the day you die, right, in this business. So I'll show you what one of those look like. But basically, all it is you going out and introducing other people to this business opportunity. And if you're successful in that process, and you've got people that come to DuePoint, our online platform will facilitate the sale of products to those people, and that is how you build a channel of distribution. The benefit for you is that in this process, you get to create an additional income stream for yourself, right? Now, I call it an income stream because it's recurring income. If it was active income, if we were selling pots and pans or vitamins or milkshakes in this business, you wouldn't be creating much of a recurring income. You would have to go out constantly to sell those things to create income. But in this business, something that's actually inherent to insurance companies is real recurring income. Because any insurance company has what we call a book value, which has intrinsic value that creates money every single month without the need of going out to sell every single month, right? And you get to share in that benefit. Some people, you'll hear some people refer to it as passive income. My father says it is the ability to make money while you're sleeping. Did you know that was even possible, to make money while you're sleeping? Right? It is possible, most certainly. My father told me about this when I was probably in high school, I think. But I never really understood what he was talking about. It was only when I started running my own business, probably 9 years into running my own business, that I realized we weren't making any passive income. All our income was active income, like an employee. We had to work every single month to create any income. That's not the way to create wealth, right? Because when you get to retirement, your income disappears. We want our income to go beyond the age of 60, the age of 65. We don't have to want to go find another job. So recurring income. Power duplication. The DuePoint system is built with what we call leverage in mind. Leverage is the ability to duplicate yourself. So if you've ever been so busy that you wished you just had a twin that could help you. You could clone yourself, right? Have you ever wished that? Huh? Am I the only one that's wished that? I've wished that many times. Jeez, I thought, the one can handle all the wife's problems and the other one can go to work. Right? That'll make my life a lot easier. So you get to do a similar thing in this business. When you go out and you find these other people to join your channel of distribution, they're actually going to come into your business and collaborate with you. They're going to help you build your channel of distribution. And so that's the ability to duplicate yourself, because you're going to earn off of their efforts too. Right? It's similar to being a sales director. If you're just a salesman, you only get commission for your own effort, right? But if you're a sales director, you get a little bit of commission off of all the salespeople doing work, and we want to be sales directors. Okay, so the system allows that. The business is flexi time. You have the opportunity to decide how DuePoint fits into your life. And you can do this business at any time, in any town, any way you want to. Right? It can be 6 o'clock in the morning you can do this business, 6 p.m. in the evening. It can be a Sunday. It doesn't matter. But you need to decide how DuePoint fits into your life. You need to decide what time you're going to sacrifice. All that free time, family time, leisure time, watching soccer, it doesn't matter what it is. You're going to have to sacrifice some of that to make this business work for you. There's no startup capital in our business. So we don't have starter kits that you have to buy. We don't have boxes of product that you have to invest in to get started. Right? We make this business as risk-free to get involved in as possible. There's no qualifications or experience required. I don't care if you've got matric or you don't have matric. I don't care whether you've got a degree or you do. I don't care if you have work experience or not. I don't care what work experience it is. The only thing we care about here is work ethic. Do you know what work ethic is? It's the determination to work hard. Right? That's all we care about. So we don't ask for anyone's CVs here. It doesn't matter what your work experience is. Anyone can become a DuePoint wealth engineer. Now, probably the most important benefit is the ability to build an asset. This is the biggest benefit on the slide. Because this asset that you're building, this channel of distribution that you're building, you have legal tender over it. It means you own your channel of distribution. That means you can sell it. If it's creating recurring income, it has intrinsic value, right? It's like owning a second property. If you own a second property and it's getting rent for you every month, it's the same thing. If you've got a channel of distribution that's paying out recurring income every month, you can sell that asset one day. That asset will keep paying you. Your channel of distribution will pay you beyond retirement. You'll be 60, 65, 70. DuePoint will still be paying you. This business will carry on paying you even beyond your death. Who would like to pass wealth onto their children or onto their spouse? Real wealth. Not a once-off insurance policy. Real wealth, where they know they're going to get income every single month out of this business you built up for them. We want to do that in this business. We want to have what we call a legacy. A legacy is when your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren talk about you. They talk about you, right? Because you created legacy in their lives. We want to do that in this business, and it allows you to do that. There's no selling involved in our business. So you might be thinking, oh, I'm coming to this presentation. I need something extra. Okay, I'll sell. I'll sell again. On the weekends, I'll do it. Right? There's no selling involved in our business. We contract you out of selling on regulatory reasons, right? So you're not allowed to talk about our products, sell our products, give any advice on our products. That's wonderful. The only thing you're going to be doing is connecting people to the DuePoint business opportunity. So imagine this side of the room, I say to this side of the room, guys, I've got some wonderful insurance products for you. Come watch a 1-hour presentation. And then on this side of the room, I say to you guys, I've got a business opportunity for you with a company that's listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange, been around for 70 years. They create recurring income that will pay beyond retirement, beyond death, if you want to make extra money. Who do you think is going to come listen to the presentation? These guys, right? That's because opportunity, financial opportunity, is the number one commodity that exists in South Africa today, right? Your job is just to connect people to the opportunity. That's all. You don't have to convince them of anything. And then the nature of our products, because they're financial in nature, means we don't have stock and distribution issues. I said we don't have boxes of product you have to buy. You don't have to put them in your boot on the way home. You don't have to fight with a spouse to find space in the cupboard to put it somewhere. And then 1 month later, you realize they all expired. Right? Then you're having a sale that weekend for your friends and family. And so we make the products as convenient as possible in this business. But your success here at DuePoint is always predicated on your ability to build a channel of distribution. So I said I'm going to show you what it looks like. It begins with you. You become a wealth engineer. That is the beginning of your channel of distribution, the asset that you're going to start building. You go out and, like I said, you connect people to the opportunity. If you're successful in that process and you've got some friends or family or colleagues or whoever that join your channel, right? That's those 5 people there. That is the beginning of your channel of distribution. Those people are going to go out and do exactly the same thing you're doing. They also want to build their own channels, right? They also want the financial opportunity. So they're going to be collaborating with you. And then you have this organic growth that takes place because every person that joins and becomes a wealth engineer is going to want to build their channels. And not everyone. You see here, this guy was lazy, became a wealth engineer, but didn't do anything. You see? That's just human nature. But you'll have this organic growth that takes place. This is the power of duplication that happens. This is you being the sales director with an entire sales force out there growing your channel of distribution, in turn increasing your recurring income every single month. This is leverage. The ability to duplicate yourself. What you have to have in mind when you build a channel of distribution is who are you bringing into your business? If you bring in anyone off the street that is desperate to earn income, right? There's 10 million of those people. You are going to build a business that is going to collapse every second month. But if you bring in people here that you can depend on, people at your peer level, people that you know will thrive in a business like this, you will build a strong channel of distribution. And this business will stand the test of time. Because why would you want to build a quality, sustainable business? Because if you do that, it is a business you don't have to nurse every month. You can walk away from that business. By what I mean is you don't have to keep building your business and keep looking after it. You can step aside and the business will carry on its own. But that takes around 5 years to do. But in 5 years' time, you'll have the luxury of going, guys, I'm going on a 3-month holiday with my kids. And I know DuePoint's going to pay me every single month while I'm on holiday. Our business doesn't disappear. It's not active income, right? So this is what a channel of distribution looks like. Our warning is, so at the beginning of the presentation, I said some people might have arrived, and it's a very legitimate fear. It's a very legitimate fear of people being propositioned a business opportunity thinking it's another scam. It's another scheme, right? Because there's so many. Anyone been to a scheme? Right? You don't have to put your hand up. Just smile at me. Just smile at me. Right? There are so many that exist. They do. And it is a legitimate fear for people to think I'm being invited to another one of those schemes. But I'm going to remind you again, let's go back to the beginning of the presentation. This is a business that is regulated by the Financial Services Board. We've been around for 70 years. We're listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange. We've got very reputable individuals in this business. We are not a scheme. We would never risk our entire business on trying to run a scheme out of this division, right? It just won't happen. So I hope I've allayed your fear there. At the same time, if you look at the picture, Brendan and myself will never promise you success at DuePoint quickly or easily, because that doesn't exist in any aspect of life. It doesn't exist, right? And so if you want to be like the ballet dancer, the professional ballet dancer, that's what it takes. A professional ballet dancer, let's say they've trained for about 10,000 hours to end up on that State Theatre stage in Pretoria. You take this pretty shoe off, the ballet pump, that's what it looks like. Business and entrepreneurship looks like the same. From the outside, a successful entrepreneur looks like this. They've got the nice car, they live in the nice house, they dress nicely, even the dog is good looking at the house, right? And it's easy to make the mistake of thinking, oh, they must have been lucky, or they knew somebody, or, right? But if you take that veneer away, any successful entrepreneur has gone through hell and back, right? They've sacrificed a lot. In this business, fortunately, we've designed the system so that there's very little risk to you. Very little risk. We don't ask for any investment from you guys, but it still requires blood, sweat, and tears in this business if you want what's being offered. So we're going to go through what's on offer. I'm going to put everything out on the table. At the end of the presentation, you need to decide whether it's worth working hard for what we have on offer here at DuePoint. That's the honest decision that we need to make. So, like any other insurance company, we've got products. We've got 3 products. They're obviously financial in nature. As a wealth engineer, you are free to consider 1 or all 3 products or 2 products. It's up to you. It's a personal decision, so I'm going to go through the products. They are very straightforward products, right? Our first product is called Access Wealth. It's an investment product. It costs 324 Rand a month, of which 100 Rand will be invested into a tax-free investment fund in your name. That sits with Sanlam, right? It's a no-notice account. That means you don't have to give us notice to draw out your investment. You phone client service, you can draw your investment out immediately, right? Takes about 3 to 5 days to for the transaction to happen, but it's immediate. On top of that, we give you a little bit of personal accident cover to the value of 120,000 Rand. What does that mean? That means with this investment, you have a little bit of insurance on it too. If you are killed in a car accident and you are an Access Wealth plan owner, we will pay out to your beneficiaries 120,000 Rand plus whatever's in the investment. Right? So this is the investment product, Access Wealth. The second product is called Wealth Guard. Wealth Guard is only insurance, right? So it's strictly insurance. It's $299 per month, but this time you get 1.2 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. Now note I call it personal accident cover. I'm not calling it funeral cover. I'm not calling it life insurance because it isn't those things. Those 2 products have to profile you from a health risk point of view. This product doesn't. I can offer this product to anyone over the age of 18. You can be 70, 80, you can have heart problems, be diabetic, have cancer. I can still offer you this product at the same premium with the same amount of cover. Those other products want to know exactly your health status, how old you are, how many times you've been to the doctor in the last 10 years, have you had any operations, can I send a nurse to take urine tests? Because they're going to profile your health. And your premium will reflect your risk to the business. So the premium will be different with those products. We all know, right? My father can't get life insurance. It's impossible. He tried. Right? He's too old. This product is accessible to everybody. That's the beauty of personal accident cover. The third product is Wealth Points. Now, Wealth Points is like a discounts product. It's $299 per month. And what it aims to do is save you money on the money that you're spending every month anyway. So are we spending money on groceries? Yes. Are we spending money on data? Yeah. Well, there's the first 2. Data and Shoprite checkers. We've got car manufacturers. We've got restaurants. We've got hotels. We've got beauty, spas, hairdressers, online retailers. We've got car manufacturers. We've got everything covered here. We've negotiated discounts on your behalf with all of these businesses that we've partnered with. So, for example, always on Wi-Fi data, if you want to buy a gig of data from them, it's going to cost you 100 Rand. But through Wealth Points, if you're a Wealth Points member, you only pay 37 Rand. Right? Do you see the discount? The discounts are different with all the partners. We are adding partners to this product all the time because we want to make it as comprehensive as possible. So it's a wonderful product, Wealth Points. If you're looking for immediate benefit, great product to have. So those are the 3 products. If you have any questions on the products, Come speak to me afterwards. So what separates us from other financial institutions? It is this. Typical insurance companies, the traditional insurance company like PMD up the road, spend a massive portion of their budgets on advertising because that's the only way they get products to market, right? They have to advertise, like every insurance company. And we know it because we hear all the ads on the radio, on TV, the billboards everywhere. They spend a lot. At DuePoint, we don't spend 1 cent on advertising or marketing. Not a cent. Why? Because we rely on our wealth engineers. We rely on word of mouth to get our product to market, to get this business to market. And so we don't need to spend the billions that the insurance industry spends every single year on marketing and advertising. We can take that portion of our budget and we attribute it to what we call the returns and the rewards program. And those are the two ways you earn as wealth engineers, is through the returns and the rewards program, right? And that's what makes us different from traditional insurance companies. So let's talk about how you earn in this business. There's two ways, the returns and the rewards program. The returns program is the ability to make recurring income. That's why we're here. We want to make the recurring income. So we pay out a base return fee of R27.50 for every product that you have in your channel, right? But it's dependent on where that product lies in relation to you. So remember the first 5 individuals you introduced to DuePoint who became wealth engineers and took out one of our products? Those people lie on our first point, on your first point. And on your first point, according to the table, we pay you double the R27.50. So you're earning 55 Rand for every product every single month. Remember, it's recurring income. Every single month, you get that 55 Rand for every single product on your first point. And then as your channel starts to grow, you can see now it's grown onto your second point. On your second point, again, you earn 55 Rand for every product. And it grows some more to the third point, and then you see the multipliers drop back to 100%, so you're earning R27.50 there. And then as your channel grows and grows and grows all the way out to the 8th point, you're earning 4% of the R27.50. So you can see you're earning R1.10 for every single product on the 8th point. But we don't limit you there. That's why there's a little plus here next to the 8. Because from point 8 onwards, in theory into infinity, we will keep paying you 4% of that R27.50, regardless of how big your channel gets. We don't limit you on how big your channel gets. Right? We've got some wealth engineers that are closing in on point 30 in their businesses, and they've got nearly 10,000 products in their channel. They haven't been limited to how much they can earn at DuePoint, right? You're not being limited on how much you can earn. So the onus always falls squarely on your shoulders. If you want a channel that size, it's your decision to do that, right? So that's the mechanics of the returns. Fairly straightforward. The next question is often, well, how much do people earn in this business? Those big people, how much are they earning? How much can I earn? How much time do I have to put in to earn so much money? So what we did was we built the Path to Success. It's a great title. It must have been the advertising guy that came up with that title. But it's a projection over the next 5 years, right? So it says, okay, you become a wealth engineer for the next 5 years. If you grow at a particular rate, you can expect to earn this kind of money. So the premise is bring 3 people in your first month, and every consecutive month thereafter, you only have to bring in 2. Right? So in March, you become a wealth engineer in March. In March, you bring 3 people into your first point. Then in April, you only have to bring in 2. May, another 2. June, another 2. July, another 2. And you're just bringing 2 every month. That's only 1 person every 2 weeks. If you can follow that growth formula, you can expect to be earning 2,500 Rand after 6 months of work. Now, who's bitterly disappointed? Don't put your hand up, just frown. Just frown. Okay, so I was a little disappointed when I saw the example the first time. I thought, geez, 6 months of work in the business, you're only earning 2,500 Rand. But what I realized was I make the mistake of thinking like a consumer all the time. All the time. It is a battle that I have every single day, right? Isn't it nice to have nice things? Right? Don't you think so? It's nice to have nice things. Everyone wants to have nice things. The ladies like to get their nails done, their toes done, jewelry, hair. The men like cars, right? Cars are way more expensive than any of that other stuff. We like to think like consumers. The economy likes us to think like consumers. The consumer thinks like this. Imagine it was your lucky day today. You came at the right presentation. And I said to everybody, I feel like Oprah, I've put 2,500 Rand under everybody's chair. Look under your chair, there's 2,500 Rand. How long will that 2,500 Rand last? 1 day, right? Maybe it'll last the weekend. if you're lucky, right? Because we spend the money like that. When we look at 2,500 rand, we go, what can I buy with 2,500 rand? Is it 6 months worth of work just to get 2,500 rand for 1 week's of groceries? Is it worth my time? And maybe the answer is no. But that's if you think like a consumer. I don't want you to think like a consumer. I want you to create wealth. And to create wealth, you have to stop thinking like a consumer. You've got to look at the 2,500 rand and say, how do I leverage that money to my benefit? Because almost every single person here, I bet, is in debt. Right? In some way or fashion. We're all indebted. That means the bank is leveraging you. Right? You are on the wrong side of compound interest. I want to get everyone on the right side of compound interest, right? And this is how we do it. So I'm going to illustrate it to you. So you're earning 2,500 rand after 6 months. Here's someone with 1 million rand bond, so a lot of debt, right? They went and got a house. They couldn't afford it. The bank gave them the money. They agreed to pay the bank back for the next 20 years. At prime plus 2, you're paying 11,500 rand a month for 20 years. So I'm 40 today. I find a little apartment. I do the bond. I get to make my final 11,500 rand payment when I'm 60, just before I'm retired, right? You want to pay your house off just before you're retired. And so, I get to DuePoint. 6 months later, with some success, I'm earning 2,500 rand, and I remember Rob saying to me, pay your debt off faster. Pay it off faster. So I said, okay, I won't buy the nice shoes this month. I'll take the 2,500 rand, I'll put it in as an additional payment into my bond. What is the net effect of that? Why would that help us? Well, in this case, it would reduce your bond term by nearly half. Instead of taking 20 years to pay that bond off, that little 2,500 rand will allow you to pay it off in 11 and a half years. So I'll be 51 instead of 60 when I become a homeowner. Do you know how much money that saves me in interest repayments to the bank? Nearly 1 million rand. Your whole house cost 1 million rand. Extra 2,500 rand is going to save you nearly the full value of the asset. Because over a 20-year period at prime plus 2, you're paying back the bank nearly 2.5 times the value of the bank of the asset. At month 12, you're earning in excess of 100,000 rand annually. See the jump? 2,500 to 9,000 in 6 months. Now I hope everyone's going to remove the frowns and start smiling a bit. They think, okay, maybe a year, that's worth the money, right? How would you like 100,000 rand check every Christmas? You come home and let's say the 23rd. The 23rd of December you come home and you show the family 100,000 rand. How does that change Christmas and New Year and holidays and the burden of school fees and stationery and textbooks and all that stuff that we're usually burdened with over January? You keep going. At month 24 you're earning nearly 30,000 rand a month. Now we're talking serious money, right? Now it doesn't matter how much you earn. You could be earning 200,000 rand a month. Extra 30,000 a month is significant. You keep going. At month 36, you're earning nearly 50,000 rand a month. You want to look at the bond example again? At month 30, you're earning 36,000 rand. If you put 36,000 rand into a 5 million rand bond, because now at this stage you're a high flyer, you've got a big house, you'll pay that 5 million rand house off in less than 7 years. So I'm 40. At 47, I pay my first house off. Rob says we pay our debt off first and then we start creating wealth. So I pay my house off at 47. I go, right, I'm going to invest in property. I buy another house for 5 million rand. And at 54, I pay that house off. And I buy, okay, that was going well. I was renting it out for 30,000 rand a month. I'm going to buy a third house. So at 54, I buy a third house. At the age of 61, I pay that one house off. Then Brendan says he's tired of me giving presentations. I'm a madala. I can't connect with the young people anymore. And at 61, I'm retired. But I'm going home to a house that I paid 14 years ago off. And I'm renting out my investment properties at 60, 70,000 rand a month. That's passive income. Plus what DuePoint is paying me in 21 years' time. That's the retirement I envision for people in this business. We have to make the decision 20 years before we get to enjoy those fruits of our labor. Right? You keep going. At month 48, 4 years from today, you're close to 70,000. Right? You see how in 18 months that nearly doubled. Right? That's the power of recurring income where you've got power duplication in the business. After 5 years, 60 months, You created for yourself almost R1 million in annual recurring income. Imagine going home every Christmas with an extra R1 million. That's only what the traders and the private bankers go home with, right? They get bonuses like that. We don't deserve bonuses like that, right? Isn't that what we're led to believe our entire lives? That's false. It's false. We have the power to take whatever we want off this table. Think about what you were doing 5 years ago. Did your life look very different to what it is today? Right? You're probably earning more, right? In comparison to the cost of living. Now think about what your life is going to look like 5 years from today. It is going to hinge off a decision that you make today. You can argue with me and say, Rob, that's just an example that you put up. It's academic, it's theory, it's that stuff the accountants came up with. Sneaky accountants. Right? And I'll say, you are right. It is. It's just an example. Everybody's different. We got wealth engineers joining. Some are doing less than 2 people every month. Right? We've got some that join that don't do anything. They do 0 a month. But we've got some that do 3 plus 2, and we've got some that do way more than 3 plus 2. And I'm going to show them to you so that you believe me. Right? We've got wealth engineers that come up every month. You can go onto our YouTube channel. There must be hundreds of wealth engineers that have come up and given their testimony. Everybody's different. George and Bridget Buerter, they're from PE. They joined just more than a year ago. The value of their channel at the moment currently stands at over 5,000 Rand a month. They've earned in total 33,000 Rand. So if you look at their growth, if you look at the size of their channel, they've got 147 people in the channel. Their first pointers, so people that they've personally introduced, they're sitting on 18. So they're doing less than 3 plus 2. But they've still earned an extra 33,000. Right? From PE. Who knew there was any business in PE? Thought there was just wind there. Right? So that's George and Bridget. Then we've got Zacchaeus. Has been in the business for 8 months. He's from Nelspruit in Mpumalanga. The channel value is sitting at 7,500 in recurring income. He's got 250 products in his channel. He's got 28 first pointers. So he is doing between 3 and 4 people every month. Right? You can do more than 3 plus 2. So in 8 months, he's already at 7,500 Rand. Okay? And that big number that you see over there, 108,450 XP. XP stands for the experience points that he's earned. So I can look at any wealth engineer and look at how much XP they're earning. It'll tell me how active they are as wealth engineers. Because you get XP for doing wealth engineer things. He's earning on average 11,000, 12,000 XP a month. I can say that he is fully engaged in the system. He is hitting it hard. Right? There can only be success waiting for him. Because at 7,500 Rand a month, he doesn't deem himself to be successful. He's got greater ambitions. Then we've got Marsha and Rulof. They've been in our business since the day we launched on the 6th of February. The value of their business is nearly at 35,000 a month in recurring income. They've got nearly 2,500 products in their channel. Do you see the leverage? Because their first point, the work that they've done, the people that they've brought into the business is probably only sitting at 30, 40. But their channel's sitting at 2,500. That's the power of duplication, right? That's them being the good sales director and having a wonderful sales force with them. They've got 17 points open in their channel, so you don't have to worry about that too much. And then 162 away from rank 11. So at rank 11, they get a free car. We're going to buy them a car. 162 products away from that. So in the next month or 2, you're going to see a brand new car parked in our parking lot. And Marsha, because they've arranged that Marsha will choose the car and get into it, because Rulof thinks there's a bigger car waiting later that he's going to take. So he's giving the little one to his wife for now. So the R250,000 Rand car, you will see Marsha get into that car in the next couple of months, right? So that's just their progress. My point is everyone's different. We've got thousands of people joining this business every single month, creating additional income streams for themselves. Recurring income that empowers them to all kinds of other things, right? Whatever aspirations you have. But my point is everyone's different. You need to decide. Every single person here is individual. We've got different belief systems in what we're capable of. We've got different circumstances, different aspirations. If you only want 2,500 Rand a month, there's nothing wrong with that. Go for the 2,500. If you are one of those people that aspire to getting 100,000 Rand a month, you're free to do that too. Completely up to you, right? Beyond just the theory, people are doing this business. equal opportunity. Every single person in this room's got equal opportunity to do the business. So what is the decision we need to make? The decision for me is very simple. It's not whether you want R1 million a year. Everyone wants R1 million a year. It's whether you are like the ballerina. Are you able to put in those 10,000 hours to see yourself become successful? Because it's not for everybody. It isn't. Some people are in comfort zones, right? Maybe you haven't been retrenched yet, but you're in a comfort zone. Other people don't aspire to doing this stuff. But the people that want it, if you're willing to work for it, it's waiting for you. That is the decision. Are you willing to fit DuePoint into your life, to make that sacrifice? Getting started is very simple. Read our code of conduct. It defines what you can and cannot do as wealth engineers, so that's fairly important to know. Register as a wealth engineer on our website, so www.duepoint.net. Takes about 7 minutes to become a wealth engineer. 7 minutes, you're a wealth engineer. After we finish the presentation, 10 minutes after that, you can start building your channel of distribution. How quick is that to start your own business? Right? Then apply yourself to building this channel of distribution. Watch our online training. You don't have to watch the online training, but I'm saying, watch the online training. It's 7 hours of video. You can watch it over the next couple of months, but make sure you watch that. Set goals for yourself. If you don't set a goal, you can't prepare a plan. You can't prepare a plan without a goal. It is impossible. You can come argue with me afterwards, but I'm telling you now, you can't do it. Right? Set a goal for yourself. Decide what you want. Then you prepare a plan to get there, and the simple task of talking to people. We can build the most perfect system in the world. If you're not speaking to someone every day, it doesn't matter. Because the speaking to somebody is how we build this business. People are waiting for you. People are waiting for you to connect them to this business opportunity. People are crying for it in this country, right? So merchandise, this is to empower you to build your channels more effectively and more efficiently. Please consider getting business cards. You cannot go out and propose a business opportunity and not have a business card. Right? Do you trust anyone who comes to you and says they got this business and they don't even have a business card? You say, okay, give me your number, and they tear off the corner of the diary and they put the name and number there. Right? You can't do business with somebody like that. Get the business cards. Right? Get the business cards. It's part of the professional package. This business is all about first impressions and credibility. When you go up to anybody, they're already summing you up in seconds, right? They've proven it. Psychology. In a split second, they've decided whether they can trust you or not, whether they're going to listen to you or not. They've got a whole backstory on you, right? Be professional always if you're doing business. USB sticks, we've got our video on there, so if you don't want to use data, get the USB sticks. And those pins represent people that are earning money. If you start out as a wealth engineer and you start earning money from DuePoint, you're allowed to buy one of those pins. If you don't earn money, you're not allowed to buy one of those pins. So if you go ask advice from anyone at DuePoint, what do you look out for? That pin, right? You don't want to ask from the 0+0 club. You're going to get bad advice. Okay. And then we've got a host of other merchandise in the cabinet outside. Pricing's on the counter. Credit card machine's been warmed up for you guys. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. The YouTube channel will tell you every time we do a live stream, like a live event. It'll tell you every time we load up a new video. Download the mobile app onto your smartphone. So our app works on Android and Apple devices. Download that because that app tells you in real time what's happening in your channel. It'll tell you if you're making money at night while you're sleeping. You'll wake up in the morning and see your channel has grown without any effort on your behalf. It'll tell you everything that you need to know. So it becomes your primary business tool. It's very important to have that app running. Some don'ts that I need to highlight in our code of conduct. It goes without saying that you need a particular set of resources to thrive in our business. Remember, this business is designed at certain people that will thrive in our business. We're not a charity business. We are not aimed at burdening the burdened, right? If you cannot afford one of our products, the business is not for you. If you cannot access the internet or you can't afford data, you're going to really struggle in this business because everything that we do is technology and data-based. If you struggle with transport, you are not going to be a very good sales director, right? Because if you want to be a good leader, you're going to have to be meeting with your team. When you're prospecting, face-to-face is always the best, right? You need access to transport. Don't ever complete a DuePoint application form on behalf of somebody else. That is illegal and fraudulent, right? It's illegal. Don't add direct family members that live with you into your channel. So if you start out as a wealth engineer, you can't go and prospect the people in your house to join your channel, right? They can be part of somebody else's channel. They can't be part of yours, unfortunately. It's an anti-manipulation rule that we had to make because people were manipulating it in the past, right? If you've got family members that have left home, they can be in your channel because they've got their own cost of living, their own lives that they're trying to start. They can be in your channel, no problem. Don't start your own DuePoint Facebook page. This is also breaking the law, right? Because you're not licensed to advertise DuePoint or our products, our third parties or subsidiaries on any public platform. So don't start a DuePoint Facebook page because we find you immediately, right? It's the internet. I can search and then you come up and then we suspend you immediately. So don't start a DuePoint Facebook page. Don't send lead wealth engineer or lead prospects to DuePoint unattended. So this point speaks to being professional. Treat everybody the same. Treat everyone with dignity. You don't know who you're bringing into your business. You could be bringing superstar into your business. If you treat them badly and say, oh, just go to head office, Rob and Brendan will take care of you there. I promise you that person's not going to sign up under you. I'll sign them up under me. Right? That's not the way to do business. You look after everybody that you bring into the business, right? Treat everybody with respect and dignity. So those are some of the don'ts. Some added benefit is our monthly incentive. We call it a wealth quest. So while you're doing business, right, while you're growing your channel of distribution in the month of March, if you can accelerate that to the point where you can bring 20 new Wealth Points program members onto your first and second point, you can choose between a brand new iPhone or you can take 100 gigs of data and an LTE router. So that's data for the rest of your year. Or you can take 5,000 Rand in travel vouchers. That's on offer just by doing business in March. Right? So that's our monthly incentive, our Wealth Quest. On the 1st of April, there'll be a new Wealth Quest with different rewards, a different challenge. For our rank 4s and above, so the people who are rank 4s, the people at rank 4 have got 120 products in their channel. For those people and above, we've got another incentive for them called our 90-day challenge. They've got 25,000 Rand waiting for them. If they can bring 5 new people into the business and help those people get to rank 2, they'll have 25,000 Rand by the end of May. Your channel, if you do this exercise, if you find 5 new rank 2s, your channel will increase by nearly 6,000 Rand a month just in recurring income. That's how much your income will go up in the next 90 days. So you'll be getting the 6,000 plus the 25,000, 31,000 Rand waiting for you at the end of May. That's for our rank 4s. But if you are rank 2 or 3, you should still go for this. Because if you go to rank 4 before the 31st of May, you'll still qualify. Right? So rank 2s, 3s, and 4s, take note, and above. Now we've got our rewards program. Remember Zacchaeus, he had 108,450 XP. Right? He earned the XP through the rewards program. The rewards program is something that happens on the side on its own. We give you something called XP for all the wealth engineer things that you do. If you come to a presentation, you get XP. If you bring guests with you, you get XP. If you do home presentations, you get XP. Every time you look at your app, you get XP. And when you start collecting more and more of this XP and your channel grows at the same time, you start to rank up in our rewards program. So if you start out as a wealth engineer today, you will start out as rank 0. Right? Can you see you're not on the slide? You're not important. Right? But to get to rank 1 is so simple because all you need is 1,000 XP. You can do that in 1 minute here at DuePoint, earn 1,000 XP. But you need 4 products in your qualified channel. And when you meet those 2 criteria, you become rank 1 and we give you an extra 55 Rand at the end of the month. Once off. It's not recurring 55 Rand. It's just 155 Rand. You go buy a donut or a piece of cake, put a candle, and you celebrate. Why am I being facetious? I'm not being facetious because what you've just proven to yourself is that you can get to any rank in our business. If you can get to rank 1 in this business, you can get anywhere in this business. It just takes time and a bit of patience and some persistence, right? But you've just proven to yourself a very big thing. And as you start collecting more XP and your channel is growing in size, you start to rank up. And as you rank up, those rewards get bigger and better. There's a 20,000 Rand, a 50,000 Rand check waiting for you. At rank 5, we give our rank 5s this fancy little USB stick that plugs into any device. Tablets, phones, computers, laptops, TVs. It's got all our video on there. So our rank 5s can show people the DuePoint opportunity, doesn't matter what device is around. At rank 7, we spend 12,500 Rand on 1 set of business cards for you personally. You're going to buy those white business cards first, and when you get to rank 7, I'm going to buy these black cards for you. See, there's no discrimination there, huh? The black ones are the expensive ones, right? Because there's no ink on these ones. We get these ones foiled and gilded in gold. Remember the old Bibles? They used to gild the edges in gold. That's what gilding is. That's what we call it in the printing industry. It's gilding. Real gold foil that they wrap around the business cards. Those are for you. Why would we spend so much money on business cards? Because this business is about first impressions and credibility. If I sit down in front of a table of strangers and I say to them, I've got a wonderful business proposition for you with a company called DuePoint. They've never heard of DuePoint because we don't do any marketing or advertising. They look at you. You are now representing DuePoint. They look at the way you dressed. Did you shave this morning? Did you do this? Did you do that? Right? And when you put a 12,500 rand business card on the table, your credibility, does it go up or does it go down? Way up. Because your business card is 50 times more expensive than theirs. You could be sitting opposite the chairman of Anglo American. He's still going to look at your business card and go, wow, how do you get a business card like this? And you say, my friend, let me tell you about DuePoint. Right? These are tools to help you build your channels. At rank 9, this is the one we all get excited about. Right? Because it's such a visceral, you know what visceral means? You can feel it. If you just think about it, you can feel it. Reward. It is a recurring reward, which means it happens every single year. When you get to rank 9, you're going to enjoy this every single year for the rest of your life. We take you, your spouse, and your kids to our international conference. It is 7 days away to a 5-star luxury international resort, all expenses paid. We fly you business class there, and the kids. If the kid is 2 years old, he's going to be sitting in business class. Right? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the air hostess offering your kids champagne or orange juice, ma'am, sir? That's what happens in business class, right? The economy class people come walking past you. They see the little kid sitting in business class and think, what a waste of so much chair. Doesn't matter. We're going to pay business class for the whole family every single year for the rest of your life. You're going to be coming to our international conference. So if you don't believe me, you think, okay, that's a nice promise. I'm going to show you our rank 9 trip. So take a look. This is what happened over December. This is the resort we went to with all our rank 9s.
When all of your wind has gone and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sun. Where no one can see you stand. Don't let the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
So that's rank 9. Who wants to join us? One person. We are going in December. We've already booked flights and a new resort already. We've booked. I just don't know who's coming with us, right? We've still got 9 months before we decide who comes with us on our rank 9 trip. So doing 3 plus 2 will take you at least 2 years to get to rank 9. But we've got wealth engineers that have done it in less than a year. We've got one gentleman who did it in 5 months, amazingly, right? But I can't dictate to you how long you're going to take to do it. That's something you decide when you look in the mirror. You go, right, we're going rank 9 in 5 months too. That's a decision you have to make. So that's rank 9. Rank 11, this is where Marsha and Rulof are about to get to. So this has already happened for some of our wealth engineers, rank 11. 250,000 Rand we spend on a brand new car and give it to the wealth engineer. There's no T's and C's. We don't put DuePoint stickers on your car. We don't ask for it back 6 months later. You don't have to share it with another wealth engineer. We buy it cash and it's yours. So this is what our rewards program looks like. We are sitting at rank 11. So we've shown you up to rank 11. The program goes up to rank 28. Who thought rank 11 should be the end? That's enough. No one. You all want more, right? There is more. There's still another 17 ranks after this one. So you can only imagine what happens at rank 28 if you're getting a car at rank 11. See, I think Rulof's hoping that there's a Mercedes or a Porsche somewhere there. He can say to his wife, I gave you the one car, now this one's mine. Right? So that's rank 11. Guys, we are at the end of the presentation. I thank you for your time this morning. I thank you for coming out to Bryanston, for tuning in around the country. But I remind you, we've got 2018 still 9-10 months ahead of us of the year. Individually, we have to decide what we're going to make of 2018. Is it going to be another year where we look back and we Facebook and we say it was a horrible year? 2019 is going to be a good year. Or we're going to make the difference this year that sets it apart from everything else, that defines our way forward. For yourselves and your family. You have to make that decision. I invite you to a wonderful business. A wonderful business. Is it going to be difficult? Yes. Is it going to be tough? Yes. Is it hard? Is it frustrating business? Yes. But have you ever done something that's hard but you enjoyed it? Have you ever done something that's difficult and you enjoyed it anyway? Right? It's going to be worth it. That's the point. It's going to be worth it. So I invite you to join DuePoint. If you have any questions, come speak to me. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you become wealth engineers today, you've got opportunity to build this business this weekend. Don't wait for Monday. Monday is when your boss is waiting for you. You're your own boss. You can start working this afternoon. Right? Go for it, guys. Good luck.